all that social media shit. Like,
Well,
I just want your number.
I don't give
Talk
out
a
my
little
number.
bit.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Are you trying to be funny though?
I'm not. I'm really not. Holy shit! What the fuck is crazy? People.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. It's hard for me to defend bad behavior like this, guys. It really is. And there's too many instances, and now that the cameras are starting to record, there's too many instances of women that is going through this. And it's weird because he didn't even see what the woman looked like under the helmet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just walked up, you had the water already, you asked a chick for her number, she don't even know you. I thought that giving out the IG and just exchanging IGs was a normalcy. I thought that that was normal for even guys to do. When you meet somebody, because you don't know them and you don't want them to have your personal number and stuff like that. I'm assuming that this is what most people do, and even on some networking type of stuff. Like, I don't give out my number on no networking type of stuff. If I'm out and about and I'm kicking it with people, I do all of my business 100% through email, business specifically, and the only people that have my number is either people that I'm kicking it with on a coaching call, people that I've known for an extended period of time, or people that I had to have a conversation with outside of social media once we started looking at things from a business perspective, or we just got really, really cool and stuff like that. So I thought that it was normal for people to exchange information as far as Instagram, because it's a safer barrier to not have somebody personally having your phone number. But then what I'm hearing from women a lot of times is that they'll actually give out their real phone number. And they're not giving out their real phone number because they're actually interested in the person. They're giving out their real phone number because they scared or they're afraid that if they don't give the person a number, then it could turn into some shit like this or worse, right? And so some people will ask and say, well, why do they actually give out the real phone number? Because some dudes are so stupid and crazy and they messing up the game for everybody that they'll actually call the person right then and there on the spot. And if the person was to actually give a false number or a bad phone number, then the dudes can probably or possibly turn into monsters. And I'm not an advocate for this, right? I'm an equal accountability smoke giver and holder. And just because I'm an advocate for men's rights, don't mean that I'm an advocate for people being assaulted. And this is assault, in my opinion. This is clearly assault. In the same way that you can't spit on nobody, you can't throw no unidentified liquid on somebody. Of course, there's going to be some suckers in the chat that sit there and say, oh, it's just water or some dumb shit like that. No, man, you can't do that. You got to keep your hands to yourself. Now, if she'd have pulled out a pistol and put a couple hot ones in them, then we would all be sitting there. Well, not me in particular, but then people would be sitting there talking about, oh, it's unjustified. You know what I'm saying? She didn't feel threatened and all of this stuff. But we seriously, bro, we got to stop this shit. We got to stop this. When you see a dude in less than 30 seconds walk up behind a chick, it was already a little bit sketchy of him walking up behind a chick, but walking up behind a chick and throwing water, hopefully, maybe it was water. I'm assuming that it was water. We got to assume that it was water, right? But throwing water on a chick just because she's not interested in talking to you, man, niggas not need to learn how to have rejection. They need to know how to take rejection. We was talking on after hours, and I was explaining to people what it was like growing up, being born in the 80s and growing up in the 90s. And I was talking to Mika and Kim and all of them. And we went from movies to we actually went to the fact that we didn't have social media. And you not having social media, at least in Detroit, and I'm not sure how it was in other places, you would kind of have a pen ready at all times. You would have something to write on at all times because you had to literally go up to a girl. And this wasn't a thing. Like, it was unheard of chicks getting called out of their name or getting stuff thrown on them just because they didn't want to talk to a dude. You just had to take rejection, and rejection was much more difficult back then because most of the time you had your homies with you and you would have to go up to a chick, and some of the times, more often than not, she would actually have her homegirls in front of her. And you just had to drum up a conversation out of thin air and just start kicking it with her. And then somehow, some way, you had to get her to give you her phone number, and then that would just figure it out from there, and you would go from there. And so you almost had to have a Rolodex, or you had to have a list of phone numbers or something like that in order to keep up with whatever the women were that you was talking to. But rejection wasn't a thing. It wasn't crazy for a dude or a woman to then say something like, well, you know what? I don't, I'm not interested or whatever. And then dude would just have to take the L and they would just keep it moving. But you didn't get butthurt just because somebody, and she didn't even reject him. Like, she didn't say anything. You can't make an excuse and say that she was being evil or she was being ugly. She was being very social and she was just like, yo, I don't give out my phone number, which is not normal, which is reasonable. You can't give your phone number out to everybody. He don't know if she was married. He don't know if she in a relationship. He don't know shit about her. The conversation didn't even go long enough for him to make that type of assessment. So then for him to go all the way up until basically level 9, one step away from level 10. Level 10 is you actually putting your hands on somebody. Now that's a no. That's a number one no. But I hope that these type of women, I hope they're driving around strapped because it's dangerous out here. It's dangerous out here for guys. It's dangerous out here for women. It's dangerous out here for people in general. And to see a chick get some water thrown on her, if it was a dude that was getting water thrown on him, there was a content creator the other day that had a chick that put her hands on him. And I didn't do a review video of it because, YouTube is a little bit more sensitive about people putting hands on people physically, literally, getting into that type of conversation. But, I seen a lot of guys in the chat on that video, and they was like, equal rights deserves equal lefts. Meaning that if you put your hands on a man, you should very much expect to get something in reciprocation. And if not, you are blessed. You are very much a blessed person. But y'all gotta stop doing this shit, bro. Y'all gotta stop getting so emotional. You gotta get some emotional intelligence. Some of y'all making me think that y'all maybe not even have a father in your life. And you gotta stop putting your hands on people. Women, I tell them all the time, keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. And men, keep your water, your hands, all of that stuff to yourself because it's not cool. It's not cool. That's somebody's daughter. It could be somebody's girlfriend or wife. I don't know. I don't know this chick. I'm gonna link back in the description so you guys will be able to tap in. But I think that this is overly disrespectful. Thank God she had the camera on because half of you niggas probably wouldn't even believe her if she said that shit. Um, and if his dudes just walking around, and if a chick say that nah, I don't really give my phone number out, and you know what I'm saying, but we can exchange Instagrams, then and you get that butthurt and that upset, you niggas need to be watched out for. Honestly, y'all got to be watched out for. Maybe I'm off. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T. Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love y'all. Appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.